What is going on? How's everybody doing today? So, we're back with another BYU video. Yes, this is like the second or third one in a row, but I said we were going to keep doing some, and there's a reason to do one because BYU just picked up a big commitment that we're going to come on and talk about. So, as usual, if you do watch me pretty frequently, you know I'm not going to go too in depth on them, but just kind of give you some stats and info that I think you should know as a BYU fan to get excited about this big recruit that you just got, because I would say it's a pretty big one. And I think this is one of the better ones or more hyped up ones of the entire cycle for BYU. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So BYU, like I said, you just went out, you landed a big receiver, a big time receiving recruit to the Cougars. So big move by Kalani Sitake and the rest of the staff, offensive staff, everybody involved with recruiting. So you go out and you land four-star receiver Blake Wong from California, or he's out of California. So he's 6'1" to 6'2". He's listed at 6'1", 170, but I believe right now the last measurements I heard was about 6'1" to 6'2", 180 to 185. I know it says 170 right here, but maybe that's not updated, or maybe the measurements I've heard were wrong, but he's somewhere in that 170 to 185 range. And he put up absurd numbers as a receiver during his junior year in high school. So 84 catches for 1,469 yards and 20 touchdowns. He was one of the most productive receivers in the whole state of California and really one of the top receiver targets in the 2027 class, which is why it's so impressive why BYU went out and got him, because you were competing with schools that traditionally recruit at an elite level, such as Ohio State and Oregon, and you went out and beat those guys out for this receiver. So, a little bit of Blake Wong. What you can expect from him is he has elite ball skills, great contested catch ability, which I think is very good, and something that BYU, I wouldn't say have lacked, because the way they run their offense, you see guys like when Parker Kingston was here and Chase Roberts and some others, they're really good in the open field. Here you get a little bit of both. You get a little bit of both. You get some contested catch ability and some good ball skills. You get a guy who can break out in the open field. But his biggest thing is just, he's not really just a get open deep receiver. Get open deep receiver. Because he's going to track the ball extremely well. He adjusts to bad throws, attacks the football, so he goes up, high points it, everything. And he can make catches through contact as well. And that matters at BYU because, like I said, the offense has been historically lean on receivers who are trusted in tough situations and guys who can really just break out in the open field a lot, I would say. Even when you look back at like Puka Nacua, which I'm going to talk about in just a second, the comparison that everybody is going to make with Blake Wong is probably Puka Nacua, because he carries some of those same traits. I'm not saying Wong is Puka 2.0, but there's some similarities there, and I don't think it's a crazy comparison. So things that they have in common to me is they're both physical receivers, both play bigger than their size, which I think you'll also see with Blake Wong. Like I did mention, he's going to go up, he's going to make these contested catches, and he's also going to have enough speed to, make some catches in the middle of the field or break out in the open field when you do get some space, when you get really open. But like some things that they do the same, again, is they use their frame. They don't avoid contact. They're not scared to play like they're only 6'1". They're gonna go out and play like they're 6'5" needed. Not all the time, but if needed, they will. They're both willing blockers. They both play through defenders. Like I said, the versatility's there as well. And Puka is really used everywhere as an outside receiver, a slot, a motion, used in screens, used in the red zone. And I think Blake Wong is going to be used exactly like that. He's not just a sideline X receiver. He's a guy who BYU is going to be able to move around on the inside, the outside, and he's going to be able to spread the field and really make it tough on these defenses, because you really never know if he's going to be on the outsides making plays on the sidelines or if he's going to be open in the middle of the field for one of those big explosive plays. After the catchability, like I have mentioned, it's a big part of Puka's game, and you're getting the same with Blake Wong. Catch, break tackle, create extra yards, and he's not just a guy who's going to go out and catch 10-yard routes. It's going to be these big explosive gains like you did see with Puka, and like you even see with Puka now in the NFL. He's going to get you that extra yardage. He's going to break into open field for these big explosive plays that'll pick you up 40, 50, 60 yards. So he looks more like a polished. When you compare Wong right now and Puka, when Puka was in high school, Wong looks more polished as a route runner early, very natural hands, more traditional outside receiver build than Puka. But Puka did have a little more of a. He was a little bit more of a chaos creator. Wong's more of a really win your matchup receiver, but he can do all things, like I have mentioned several times already. He's a true wide receiver one potential player. When you have Ohio State recruiting a receiver, you know there's something because they have probably the best eye for any receivers out of anybody in the country. And that's really a big thing that BYU needed because you're not really lacking receiver depth, but I guess you're lacking starters this year. Even though I'm not saying Blake Wong is going to come in and start this year because he's not even on the team this year. This is a 2027 class. But anyways, Wong has a crazy high ceiling. He can become the third down target. He can become the red zone target. He can become a chain mover, explosive play threat. Pretty much anything you need. He's so versatile. And he also has a connection with Bear Bachmeier already. I believe, maybe I'm wrong. You can quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Wong did spend his freshman year with Bear Bachmeier or where Bear was starting quarterback in high school. Maybe I'm wrong. But that familiarity, I'm sorry, I can't even talk today, that's a big thing because a young quarterback loves guys who can get consistently open, who they already have some chemistry with. I'm not saying they have the max amount of chemistry because I don't really know how much they actually play together, but there's some chemistry there when you look into practice and stuff. And then probably, I'm sure Blake Wong was getting some reps as a freshman too, but he's going to go out, he's going to get open consistently, he's going to win contested catches, and he's going to make difficult throws easier, which is big for Bear Bachmeier as well. That's going to help out your quarterback or Rider Lions and move forward as well. So, yeah, like I said, not going to go too in-depth on him, but just wanted to run some info by you that I think you should know and that you should be excited for Blake Wong. You maybe have Puka Nacua Part 2. You maybe have Puka Nacua 2.0 I'm in. So, if you did enjoy this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you did consider subscribing. Helps me out a lot, and yeah, a lot more BYU content coming as really as always. I mean, I'm always posting BYU content. So, yeah, if you're a BYU fan, also drop down in the comments what you think of this pickup and how you think he fits into the team and how excited you are. And comment your expectations for next year as well. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.